Today is Thursday, June the 6th. We'll start off with a McClellan oscillator, which we said yesterday wasn't going to move because the advancers to decliners were very much 50-50. And so we ended up with two hits directly on the neutral line for the oscillator. So there's no momentum to go up, there's no momentum to go down. Money going into the market, money going out of the market is about the same. FinViz tells us today, advancers slightly led decliners, even though we had a very good day on the Dow, but look at the volume. And all the time we've been looking at this relative volume. This is the lowest reading we've ever seen in terms of Dow stocks that were traded. NASDAQ, we've seen this kind of low before, but it's now consistently low. And the S&P 500, consistently low volume. But we are still nonetheless creeping higher. Everything was pretty much red today. Smattering of losers, but generally a green day. Several times during the day I was tweeting about the S&P on the 1 hour and pointed out that we had the chikou span. This is today's trading right here, right on an hourly chart. It's these guys right here, but 26 periods back, so 26 hours back from the open today, we had resistance, chikou span on the bottom of the cloud. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 hours went by, and this hour finished with the chikou span hitting the top of the cloud. That was the last that I tweeted, and I said that the next move looked like it was going to be the 50, and that is where we ended. So the green line had been plotted there, and that's where we ended. So the chikou span clearly shows where traders were positioned for buying and selling all day long, and we just had from the open just sort of an up day. Apple had a day of only up less than 0.5%. It was also getting chikou span support, 1, 2, finished up here. We're headed towards 185.31. There's no reason to think that if the deal with Mexico, and the tariffs takes place tomorrow, or the tariffs are delayed by Monday because apparently there's no mechanism to collect the tariffs on Monday, the market will be enthusiastic, and we'll see Apple try to make that push up to the top of the cloud. Flat clouds attract, right? And that could happen tomorrow. On a daily, looking at Apple, we stopped at the 200. So price today stopped at the 200 EMA with the chikou span. So now we've seen the S&P and also Apple today being chikou span controlled. And this is the point that I've been trying to drive for some time. If we look at the MACD, we see that the MACD is now where the orange line here is starting to overtake the red line. So that is a bullish sentiment indicator for Apple. Caterpillar, languishing down here in terms of oversold, but we can certainly go an awful lot lower, but we're starting to turn up in the MACD. Gold had another pretty reasonable day today. Up, gold miners up 1.1%. We saw the bullishness in the MACD start back here on May the 10th, and it's just continued quite nicely. What is the MACD? 26-day moving average is the orange line. The 9-day moving average is the red line. When the signal line, which is the 9, when the orange line overtakes the red line, then we've got bullish momentum. The distance between these two lines is measured by these histogram bars. So when the red is over the orange, we're below the line. When the orange is below the red, the histogram is above, and it means that momentum is increasing. And we're seeing increasing momentum here for gold miners. But if we look at our peaks in the past, and we just draw this line right here, we see here, 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 and we've already exceeded that here in terms of gold. So now the histogram, so the divergence between the two averages is now higher than it's ever been for gold miners. So we can expect some kind of a slowing down now. Whirlpool, we said on Twitter today that, and I said earlier that I missed the chance to get into Whirlpool because I didn't see the 68.1% pullback from this high to this low. So resistance normally would come at 38.2. The next opportunity to buy Whirlpool will be a break of 38.2%. We're seeing the 50 start to curl, exponential start to curl back up again after this bearish cross of the 50 and the 200. The MACD line is starting to also overtake the signal line. And tomorrow, if there's any upward motion, we're going to find the histogram now moving above the line. I didn't add any stock today. I tweeted at the open that it looked like it was going to be an opportunity, but that didn't happen. We immediately hit a top, the highest of the day in the first 15 minutes, and then we petered out, and you know that I never trade in the first 15 minutes. So after we pulled back, there was no signal again to move into Whirlpool. WDC, this is a 5-minute. Let's look at a daily. Still below the 8. Still a negative MACD. On a 1 week, we're getting negative signals here. We're getting the orange crossing below the red. So WDC on a weekly basis is still a very, very weak stock. So tomorrow, what do we think we're going to see for the S&P? Well, on the day, let's take just a quick look at the week. On the week, chikou span is free. Let's see if we can just get rid of all of our mess here. We've passed the 50 EMA, approaching the 50 SMA. We've left the 200s far behind. There's a good chance tomorrow that we move higher and finish the week perhaps as high as 2 weeks ago right here, which would put it at the 50. Chikou span is not giving us any indicator where it might go up, but its support is here at 2791 or 2800. If we were to have a terrible day tomorrow, we could see support at 2800, but certainly strong support at 2791. Let's look at it on, that was the week. On the day, we've got to break through these 250s, right? The SMA and the EMA are just a hair's breadth apart, so we've got to break through that. And that is a reasonable possibility tomorrow. Let's see if we have, and we've got the MACD telling us that momentum is in that direction. On the 1 hour, we're also stuck on the 50, but price is over the 50. Let's put an alert right here, and let's show that tomorrow we're hoping to see a possibility of 2849, let's say 2850. Based on an hourly basis. The 50 moving average would say 2869. Let's just say our target tomorrow will be 2849.20, 2850.